everyone, this is Callie with craftingcallie.wordpress.com. I made a rainbow thank you card and I just wanted to show you quickly how I did it. It uses a stamp kit called For Being You, and I'm using that large stamp at the very bottom there that you see. It provides lots of blank space for coloring and I think it's perfect for this project. I used a variety of colors using Stampin' Write markers, Real Red, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Wild Wasabi, and Pool Party, and I believe the last color was Wisteria Wonder. And the black ink that I'm choosing these days is Memento ink. Um, Memento is an ink that you should be able to blend with. Some people have trouble with it bleeding, but I've never really experienced that before. And with larger stamps, I like to set the stamp on its back and ink on top of it so that I can see where I'm applying my stamp and making sure that it gets applied evenly. So I have a white panel. You just want to make sure it's long enough to set at a diagonal on your long piece of cardstock there. So I think this white piece is maybe 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. So once I stamp it, I'm gonna set it at a diagonal on my card base where I want it, and then I'm gonna trim off the excess. So I really like this Fiskars trimmer a lot because it's got a wire on it, so you can see exactly where you're cutting. So I'm just trimming right on the line where I drew my marks, and that gives me that diagonal panel for the card. So now I'm going to start coloring, and I'm going to use the blender tool. In typical situations, you would want to use watercolor paper like I explained in my coloring technique video, but for this purpose, I didn't really care about using regular cardstock because I knew I was going to cover it up with some crystal effects. So it's going to cover up any imperfections or maybe paper fraying that will come from the blender pen pulling at the cardstock. So you'll see in a little bit once I'm done that it does fray up the paper a little bit as I'm coloring because I'm running over it so many times with the blender pen and with the markers. But like I said, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be using crystal effects, and that will give the word thanks a really shiny raised look, and it looks really, really nice. So at first I thought I was just going to fade the darker color from the bottom up, but it wasn't dragging enough ink, so I started coloring at the top and around the corners as well, as you can see on the S there. And there you saw some paper fraying, but again, I'm just going to use crystal effects, and I'm just going to put crystal effects all over it, and it kind of hides those imperfections. And I let this dry for about 2 hours because I did this over my break, my work break, and then I waited for it to dry, and then I applied a second layer just to help cover up more imperfections or areas in which I didn't apply enough and it was thinner than the rest. So yeah, you can apply as many layers as you want until you're satisfied with how it looks. And I thought this looked really pretty. So once it's done, I let it dry again for about 2 hours. You can reapply your second layer of crystal effects after an hour if you'd like. And so I got a basic gray marker, and I decided I wanted to draw in some faux stitched lines, so that's what I'm doing here. I didn't actually measure the distance between the paper and the faux stitch marks, I just kind of eyeballed it, and just to give it a different a look, just to give it a border. So once I decided where I wanted to lay it out, I went ahead and put 3M foam tape on the back of it. I really like this 3M foam tape because, as you can see, there's no dead space and it's just perfect for the panel, and you can send it through the mail and not have to worry about the panel being crushed. So when I'm done adhering that to the card base, I decided I wanted to border this panel with some hearts from the same set. So I went ahead and stamped that across and then decided to color it in. I wanted a really soft, subtle color, so I went ahead and chose the Pool Party, the same color from the letter K there that you see. Adds a little bit of dimension, and it's not too, it doesn't take away from the rainbow panel, and it looks great. And that's it. You have a beautiful, vibrant card, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.